This harvest could be a bin buster. Tonight here on NTV's Grow, we take a look at the record forecast planned for this harvest. Plus, we'll talk to one-on-one with Congressman Adrian Smith on the next farm bill and highlight FFA kids learning by doing. It's time now for NTV's Grow. Free trade deal or not, a popcorn company from a small community doing big business now expanding internationally. Here's NTV's Steve White.
Get it out before it blows out.
Harvesting popcorn in central Nebraska today to be enjoyed later at movie theaters in Japan or Mexico.
Been blessed enough to export our popcorn to all around the world, over 70 countries.
Including China, where Norm Krug of Preferred Popcorn says it's a new concept.
Unlike Americans, they're just learning to enjoy this healthy snack.
And the company now opens an office in far northwest China to reach people with their story.
The message is the same all over. If you just treat people with integrity, tell them the truth, and give them what you say you're going to give them, those are the basic fundamentals that are important.
Krug supports the Trans-Pacific Partnership, saying trade deals level the playing field.
American farmers can compete with anybody in the world, but we can't compete against governments. We really need to focus and encourage our leaders to focus on free trade.
And Krug argues trade brings money back, allowing him to expand.
We had 3 employees and one little office, and now we have over 80 employees.
It all starts on the farm, and more than half of what's harvested is exported.
I've bought so many things in my life that say made in Japan or made in China or made in India. So it's fun to have some wires and some money coming back the other way.
And with expansion in China, likely the only business in Chapman, a town of 287 with an office overseas.
That's probably true. That might be a safe bet.
A New York snack business using Nebraska corn to create non-genetically modified snacks. BFY Brands recently rolled out its new line of munchies, including the triangular corn-based Popcorners. All the corn to produce the snack is being grown on 59 Nebraska farms. The CEO says sourcing 20 million pounds of corn this year was challenging. U.S. Department of Ag data shows 8% of national corn acres and 5% in Nebraska are non-GMO varieties. So to get the word out, a Nebraska farmer made some crop art that you're seeing now. Now, while that company is making sure that consumers know that there's no GMOs in their snacks, now a former anti-GMO crusader is changing his tune. Mark Linus made headlines when he reversed his stance on biotech crops. He spoke at UNL this week. He said he used to destroy crops, believing they were unnatural and evil. But he realized he could not deny the science behind GMOs and now promotes biotechnology to help farmers grow crops that require less fertilizer and are more drought tolerant. Soybean harvest nears the halfway point here in Nebraska. While some have wrapped up soybean harvest, statewide about 44% has been complete. That's a little behind average. Same for corn. Harvest is about a quarter of the way done. About a third of sorghums harvested as of most recent USDA reports. Planting of winter wheat just about done. 77% has emerged. And this harvest could be a record setter. The new USDA forecast is at a record high 1.72 billion bushels, up 2% from last year. Average corn yield forecast at 181 bushels an acre, down 4 bushels from last year. Soybean production in Nebraska forecast at a record high 314 million, 3% above last year, and a record yield is forecast at 61 bushels per acre. That's up 3 bushels from a year ago. There's a big drop-off in sorghum production, down 34% from last year. 97% of farms are family-run, and that's definitely evident here during harvest time. NTV's Steve White has more.
Kids hurry home after school, and that friend who lives in town, he calls to make sure he gets that annual combine ride. And for the Smith family, everyone's involved, even the family dog.
Yeah, Mom got a new pup there.
Taking a break during harvest, the Smith family works as a team. Even the dog rides in the tractor.
We're all family run here. We got mom in the grain cart and my wife's driving one of the semis, and dad and I kind of switch hit between the combine. And
it's Andy's turn behind the wheel of the combine as the family picks their first corn of the season. Of the nation's 2 million farms, 97% are family owned. And that's true here.
From putting it in the ground to picking it in the fall, it's all a family affair.
Andy's happy with the yields despite taking a hit from a summer windstorm. He was also on the edge of a drought that's been declared a federal disaster.
some friends of ours south of town, boy, they got beat up bad. I hated to even call him and ask him how much rain he got.
The Smiths strip till in conjunction with variable rate applications of fertilizer, saving thousands of dollars by applying nitrogen only where needed.
Boy, Dad and I saved a ton of money on fertilizer just from comparing that yield map. Okay, this is a trouble spot. What do we need to do here?
And as Andy tracks his yield, he's gaining insight into what he should do for 2017.
This outfit here gives us a good idea of what to do next year, and I can't say enough good things about this.
Harvest moves fast, but the days are long. And on this farm, everyone pitches in, even Sam, the Australian Shepherd.
We try to have picnics when we can, when we're not busy, and incorporate everybody from the grandkids to the dog.
And we invite you to share your harvest stories and photos. Just look for NTV's Grow on Facebook and Twitter.
OSHA urges caution when it comes to handling grain out there during this harvest time, especially with recent tragedies. 5 seconds is all it takes for flowing grain to engulf and trap a worker. In 60 seconds, the worker's submerged and is in serious danger of death by suffocation. OSHA says there have been 2 fatalities, 4 preventable grain handling injuries in Nebraska and Kansas this year. And they encourage employers to make sure you are following health and safety procedures. 42-year-old died in Prosser this spring at an elevator, and a 59-year-old suffered serious leg injuries when his coveralls got caught in a sweep auger at an elevator in Litchfield. Threatening crops out there, a corn disease is showing up in Kansas. Bacterial leaf streak has been popping up in some parts of the heartland. It is new to the heartland, and the USDA confirmed it in a swath from Pratt County to Edwards County line in late August. Preston area farmer says the disease probably contributed to this year's decline in corn yield, but weather also a factor. It is unknown how it entered the U.S. The disease has been found in about a dozen states, including Nebraska, Colorado, and Oklahoma. Drought is really turning up the heat, especially on some ranchers out there. And if you had to sell livestock due to drought, there's now an extended time for you to replace those herds and also defer gains tax. To qualify, livestock generally must be replaced within a 4-year period. The IRS is authorized to extend this period if drought continues. The relief is for any farm located in an area listed as suffering exponential, extreme, or severe drought conditions. But the National Mitigation Center between September 2015 and August 16. Check out the IRS website for more details. If you want a college degree where the demand runs pretty high, check out agriculture. Here's more from NTV's Grow co-host Steve White.
And they'll lay a soil map over this.
Technology brings precision to the farm, and egg businesses like CPI need employees with high-tech skills.
We need young people in agriculture and a lot of opportunities here in Nebraska, and we need to keep these kids at home.
A USDA report found nearly half of openings in egg-related fields are filled by people who did not study it in college.
There's all kinds of opportunities for jobs in ag.
That's why the assistant director from the State Department of Agriculture was excited to learn what community colleges are doing.
Awesome thing about the curriculum that they've got within these programs is they're giving them that hands-on education of what it is that the industry needs and giving them real-life experience that they've touched and felt and understand what it is that they're going to be doing in their jobs.
The program at Central Community College is known as NPACE, focused on precision ag, using drones and data to make better decisions.
It is a huge career option, very rewarding. The pay isn't too shabby either, so I think most kids are very, very interested in going out and pursuing some piece of precision agriculture.
And the program is attracting students who don't even have a farm background.
Well, I've always been kind of good with like computers and stuff, and I've always been kind of interested in the ag sector of everything, so I kind of figured this would be a pretty good fit.
A one-day summit gives students like Sam a chance to meet professionals. As they learn, their degrees will open doors.
It just makes it easy, and it's affordable, and it's pretty easy to work with.
A crop to help a country with people there battling a vitamin deficiency. DuPont Pioneer and Africa Harvest Biotech Foundation international researchers show increasing vitamin E and beta-carotene in sorghum improves the availability and longevity of beta-carotene. That is what the body converts into vitamin A. This could be especially meaningful for parts of Africa where vitamin A deficiencies remained high and unchanged since the early 1990s. Researchers were able to show the breakdown of beta-carotene by inserting a gene from barley, from selling millions to now more than 1 billion. Certified Angus beef brand sales hit a little over 1 billion pounds for the first time. The president says the milestone brings out appreciation for thousands of individual successes that led to that historic mark. The average growth over the previous 5 years has been 3%, but it's nearly 75% in the last decade, with 12 straight years of sales growth. See if you can keep on trucking during harvest into the next week. We have your forecast coming up. Also, we fill you in on the next farm bill. Also, reaction from a recent court decision on anhydrous ammonia and more with a one-on-one with Congressman Adrian Smith. That's coming up after the break.